Welcome to Journey TV. I'm your host, Yvette Craddock. Journey TV is a series of programs dedicated to exploring cultural diversity in the corridor. Each episode features the personal stories of local residents who share their challenges and contributions to enrich the corridor's cultural climate. They share their stories with the intention that we collectively increase our understanding, acceptance, tolerance, and respect for each other. Their personal stories may be their individual journeys, but their individual journeys represent those of many. We are the many. She's the type of girl that immediately catches your eye and quickly thereafter captures your heart. Her vivacious spirit, captivating smile, and personable warmth greet everyone she meets. As the youngest of 3 siblings, her 2 older brothers protected her like a hawk, and her parents made sure that she remained their little girl for as long as possible. Her creativity has guided her. Her thirst for life drives her. Cedar Rapids is her home. As a grown woman, she is doing her part to make her home everyone's home.
I lived in Cedar Rapids my whole life. My childhood was fun. My brothers dragged me across the carpet on my back and get the rug burns and, just typical brothers.
What kind of things would you do with your friends growing up?
We would always change our shoes, so everyone would wear everyone else's shoes. One foot had your shoe and then the other one was someone else's shoe, and we thought we were so cool, and we would collect chapsticks together and oh my god, I got this flavor, and we were just crazy, I guess. It didn't seem like I had a care in the world.
Most people can relate to Reema Ajram-Salem's childhood filled with typical sibling antics, silly games with friends, and not having a care in the world. Really, normal childhood stuff, up to a point.
We're not allowed to date in our religion. It's against our religion. But yeah, even if guys were to talk to me at school, they'd be like, who's that? Who are you talking to? What are you doing? Or even when I got married, my brothers still have a problem with me being married, in a sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're really protective. You're their little sister.
Especially one in particular.
How was that growing up when you couldn't date? Did you feel pressure, or were people understanding and respectful of your religious beliefs?
I felt like people didn't really understand. They thought I was just this weird girl who didn't belong. I didn't fit in because everyone else was dating and going to parties and having fun with friends after school. I come home after school. My parents were very strict on, you're not allowed to sleep at anyone else's house because it's not appropriate for a girl to sleep out of the house until she's married, in her own home. Okay. And so people, I didn't go to parties, and so people just thought I was just so, even more than a nerd, I guess you can say. Why is she always home? Why doesn't she ever go out? Why doesn't she ever drink? Why doesn't she ever do any of that stuff? But they never understood completely why. And so I was always the outcast compared to everyone. I just never fit into that category with anybody.
How did that make you feel?
It hurt. It hurt because I didn't feel like they wanted to understand. They didn't want to learn why I couldn't do certain things. Sure. And then I was so tired of them asking, oh, this boy asked you out, why didn't you go out with him? Or why didn't you go to the prom? Or why didn't you? I was by the end I was why? Seriously?
Ah, did I mention the obvious? Reema is Muslim. She chooses to wear the traditional headscarf or hijab. She has spent her life working to better understand others, despite others intentionally not really exerting any desire or effort to understand her as a person, and more specifically, a Muslim woman. The one part of her story that most can sadly understand is what it feels like to be ostracized, marked as an outsider, for any reason. And in her case, most poignantly for her religious and cultural beliefs. Did those experiences bring you to the point where you are now, from the standpoint of being outspoken and educating people about your religious beliefs and your culture?
I think so. Like, I mean, I got involved with the 9/11 memorial last year, but even before then, I really wanted to inspire anchoring, like being in broadcast journalism, and I really wanted to get Islam on like a good foot. Islam is not a bad religion. There's bad people in every religion. That was really my dream. I really wanted to help people understand what Islam really is. And so then I finally got the chance to at the 9/11 memorial. From the reactions that I got, that I figured like this is kind of what I want to do. Be able to explain to people where I came from, growing up as a Muslim girl, like not covering my head at the beginning, and then after marriage, like covering my head, and then kind of like realizing the hatred that I'm feeling more so, like after I wore the headscarf.
What was the defining moment for you? What was your point where you noticed a major shift?
Right after 9/11 happened, I was in 6th grade, and like people just started being so rude to me, and like they just started calling me like a terrorist, and I don't belong here, and like they, you know, like they kept saying like, oh, there's probably something like you're hiding in your like pockets of your jeans or something, like you're probably holding guns, like where are your guns, Reema, and like all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Now, are these people you've known and went to school with all these years?
Yep. And so like it was different for me. Like it just hurt.
Her hurt is still real.
I lost friends. Like one girl, she saw me wearing the headscarf, like, you know, right after I wore it, and she's like, why are you wearing that? I'm like, oh, because of my religion, and I wanted to. And then she stopped talking to me. It's called a hijab. I feel like they're threatened by me wearing it, in a sense. I started wearing it 3 weeks after I got married, actually.
Which was?
September 20th, 2010. So I started wearing it October 12th of that year, of 2010.
Fear is as contagious as an airborne disease that needs to be mitigated. Imagine going through life as a well-liked child and then one day waking up to people you know and have known your entire life making false, hateful accusations against you. She has worked to heal her pain and emerge stronger, and as an outspoken leader. As any true leader, her strength is in her core. Her attitude is her asset. She has weathered the insensitive behavior of others midpoint through her childhood through today. As an adult, she retains her playful essence with newfound wisdom and maturity. Her family has faithfully stood by her side the entire way.
We all work, and when we come home, we all see each other and have a good time with the kids and everybody. And I think a religion, it does play a lot of role with our life. We pray together, we talk about religion a lot of time, we see a lot of religious shows, and you know, in this age, you have to be close to your family, to your kids. And you have to explain to them about life, about, you know, what's going on outside. And if they have any problem, you know, you have to help them to take care of it, instead leave them by themselves and see what happened later, you know.
First mosque in North America is in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Mother Mosque.
Yes,
called,
yes.
Right?
And there's thousands now of mosques in the U.S.
When I came in 1980 to this country, it was like life was easier for some reason. And there is not too much prejudice, you know, against Muslim or any other religion. But 9/11 evoked those problems that we are facing right now. We are just people like anybody else. Yes. We are no different. We believe in the same God. We love life. We love our children. We just want to have successful businesses. That's all what we want. You know, just like anybody else. We want to be happy. We want to live peaceful.
If you go in the communities, there's no issues. It's the 1% ignorant people that we have. So
I think it helps. So I have neighbors, for example, and we're good friends with them and teaching them. I had a really good neighbor that I was a good friend with, and she moved away to a small town, and I think in a small town they need to be educated. And so I was good to her. Hopefully she'll pass on the message.
We're not getting a lot of help from the media, you know. Maybe sometime, you know, we try to work harder, but the media sometimes they come and, you know, and be a little bit hard on us. This we should show it, you know, if we're doing something, helping a community in a tragedy like like the flood here in Sidi Rawis.
Yes.
We had most of the community, they were going from home to home to helping other people to clean their houses. But we don't show ourselves like we are the Muslim community doing that.
We have to start actually with our leaders, imams, rabbis, ministers, professors, government, anybody, that we have to start educating them to educate the people around them. If they teach their group, if on Sunday they tell them we are equal and everybody should be equal, doesn't matter who they are. I'm not talking about only Muslims.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of prejudice against a lot of different people.
Yes.
We'll be okay.
Every once in a while you get an ignorant somebody, you know, but he's not doing it on hate, you know. It's just he say something or in ignorance, and it doesn't hurt us. We say I feel sorry for him, you know. I'm very proud of her because how the community, you know, they treating her now, and everybody's supporting her. All the Christian community and Jewish community and a lot of Indian, a lot of people, they love her because the way who she is, and they I'm really proud to be her father.
It is obvious that the Ajram family is a close-knit one. In order to work on achieving similarly positive experiences for everyone, education, communication, and proactive solutions are part of the answer. In the case of faith-based confusion or misunderstandings, the need for increased community education is a theme that Reema's family believes in, as well as the local Muslim leadership.
In order to better understand the role the mosque plays in the Muslim community, I am at the Iowa City Mosque speaking to the president of the executive committee. Usainu Kita is joining me for this segment of Journey TV.
I am the current president of the executive committee of the Iowa City Mosque. I'm the head of the education committee. Our main goal and role is to focus on the education of our children in the community, meaning the Muslim children. We try our best to educate our children so that they get proper Islamic education while growing up in this Western society. We're also responsible for the general education of the community. If we launch some programs in the mosque on a regular basis, weekly basis, lecture programs. The Dawah committee. Dawah means calling people to Islam. Basically, that's what it translates to. And the role of the Dawah committee is to invite people to Islam and do the best they can to better explain Islam to them, rather than all the misconceptions they get out there as what Islam is supposed to be.
You are involved in an interfaith group. Will you please explain to us the efforts that the community is making jointly to educate members of congregations locally?
We have this interfaith dialogue group, which is called the Christian Muslim Dialogue Group, and we've been meeting for a while. We have monthly meetings where we sit and discuss some of the most daunting issues, in Christianity and Islam, and especially the issues that we differ on. And it's been a very good group. We have a lot of members, pastors, mainly some professionals, and we have a very good meeting and some very interesting conversation.
What trends do you see as far as multiple generations better accepting and showing respect of the differences in religious faith?
Well, as we are all aware, unfortunately, the modern generation are not too religious. I've been in France for 2 months, and in France, Catholicism is really big, or was really big. Like I can see, everywhere you go, even small town, you find huge cathedrals. Huge, beautiful, expensive cathedrals. But people are not religious anymore. I tell people, you have all these cathedrals. They even celebrate, religious holiday, which is official state holidays, but religion is not in people's life. It's just something that is just there, but people are not participating.
And then
So it means that modern people are not being interested in religion. Part of the reason is I'll mention myself as religious leaders or who have responsibilities, we're not doing as well as we're supposed to do to involve the younger generation.
Perhaps the declining interest in religion correlates to the lack of respect for those who practice a particular religion. The answers are not clear or easy, but they all lead to continuing dialogue and education. Education serves another role in Reema's daily life. As a University of Iowa Communications Studies student, Reema is intent on changing the homogeneous media landscape and continuing to educate people about her religious and cultural beliefs.
I came here and I just started wearing the scarf, like the hijab, like 3 months before I started the university. And so coming here, and I had to adjust to being a university student instead of Kirkwood, and like, you know, just the class sizes and everything like that. But then I also had to adjust to like people staring at me more because I wasn't used to it before. But then as my semesters went on, I'm like, I stopped paying attention to it. Like it doesn't faze me anymore. So I'm just trying to get like finish communication, my communication studies degree. And then hopefully like I would love to be an anchor.
yes.
And work for Good Morning America one day. I know that's like a big dream, but I mean, that's one of my biggest dreams that I would love to do.
Everybody has to dream big.
Yeah,
Anyone who
thanks.
has accomplished their life goals, they've dreamed big. They've gone way beyond their own comfort zone and have avoided the constraints of society, whether it's direct friends and direct comments, and they focused on that goal.
Right.
So that's completely plausible for you to accomplish.
Thanks.
What are you willing to do to make it happen? If it comes down to you choosing to wear your hijab or not.
I will wear it. Like my religion comes first. Even if I don't get the job that I love, I mean, I'm understanding that that's going to happen. You know, I'm not stupid by it because I know that a lot of people are very close-minded when it comes to Islam, and people are afraid. And so like I would understand like if they weren't ready to like have a Muslim anchor or whatever, but that's okay. I'll try again. I'll try until like I succeed in the place and like they accept me for who I am, and I don't have to change myself to fit people's needs.
I do understand that. So you will stand with conviction behind your decisions
sure.
and make it happen
For sure.
regardless. But your religion does come first.
Right. I'll just work like harder than people expect of me. You know what I mean? I'll work harder than that, and I'll try to work beyond that to get like where I want to be.
Do you have a plan of action for how you can help those in the TV industry become more accepting of not only you but others who are different?
I wanted to go into the news to like portray being different is okay. You know, like portraying that racism is not okay. Like that's what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to show that Islam and like other religions or like other people are like, there's good people in everything, and there's also bad people with every religion, every color, and like everything. So, I mean, I hope I can inspire change in a sense when I'm talking to them or like when I'm there working for some company. I hope I can inspire people to like have a more open mind towards other people.
Regardless of our diverse religious beliefs, the ultimate goal and behavior and mindset of people from all religious and faith-based backgrounds can be found in the response by some audience members to Reema's 9/11 speech.
They stood up a few times and they gave me like standing ovations a few times.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and they didn't do that for any other speaker, and so I'm like, oh my god, I'm like sitting there. I didn't realize what was going on until after the fact.
Sure.
So like my family was telling me like, oh my god, they stood up like 3-4 times during your speech. Like they were really like giving you a standing ovation. I was like, really? And they kept clapping afterwards, and they were just, I mean, like people came up to me, they were crying, you know, hugging me, and they're like, people I didn't know were apologizing to me about treating us so badly.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry I've treated you this way, and like now that you opened my eyes, like I realize that you guys are normal people. Like there's no reason for us to have like this hatred towards you.
Although we may not agree on the same way to worship God, by whatever name we choose to bestow upon Him, we can all work together to walk the same spiritual path lined with respect, acceptance, tolerance, and peace as a united group in the human experience.